All right, welcome back to another episode of Criminals Hate Me. It's the podcast that criminals don't want you to watch. And we're back with another video about the Noah Presgrove case. I know I said that I had some stuff going on that I was looking into the case that I posted on my community page, and that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. I wasn't going to make another video this year, but I think this is a pretty important one, so I'll go ahead and get this one out. So this is the question that I have for today's video. This is what we're going to be looking into. Was Noah Presgrove's body staged to look like a hit and run? Okay, so I did some research and let me show you guys what I found. So if you do a simple Google search for pedestrian hit and run, and then when you get your results, you click on images, I noticed a very strange trend. It kept coming up with pictures that kept leading to websites for lawyers. Okay, this one here, it's for D. Miller and Associates law firm, and basically it's like an advertisement, SEO marketing, Google search engine marketing. That's the best marketing that you can do, is create a web page where somebody's researching a topic, and then they land on your web page, and it's answering the exact questions that you have. So this is talking about what are your legal options if someone is killed in a pedestrian accident in Texas. And then this is just part of the page, but it's a big long page. It talks about hit and runs and what to do if one happens, if someone gets killed in one. This is for a law firm in Texas, but what I found was 10 to 12 or maybe more pages of lots of different law firms from different states, different cities, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all marketing this the same way. So basically they're trying to get leads for clients that are victims. They're a family member of a victim of a hit and run, okay? And what I noticed in pretty much every web page is the photo. So page after page, guys, it doesn't matter where the law firm is, what state it's in. These are not real hit and run pictures that they're showing. What they're doing is they're depicting a hit and run for marketing purposes. And basically what this means is these guys are familiar with hit and runs because they've represented many hit and run cases. Okay, and so they're doing like a staged crime scene or like a fake crime scene of a hit and run. And what do you notice? Almost in every one of these pictures, guys, and I only did 5, but all 5 are pictures where the victim got their shoe knocked off. Like, it's bizarre, very, very, very bizarre. And this is something that's new to me, guys. Like, I've never heard of this before. I've never seen this before. Like, I had no idea that it is this common for a hit and run victim to have their shoes knocked off. Like, I don't know. I'm left scratching my head. Like, I had no idea that was like the norm. But it has to be for law firms who represent hit and run victims and their families. It has to be the norm for them to do all these fake pictures of, they're doing marketing here, to try to get clients and leads, and the shoes are off. Like, they're basically telling you, if you know someone who's a victim of a hit and run, this is what it looks like. Their shoes are, it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. But you also see the victims lying on their back, Okay. Or here's one where they're lying on their side. But most of them are on their back. So that's just something that I noticed, okay? So in my opinion, after seeing these photos of what a hit and run crime scene is supposed to look like, according to lawyers, okay, in my opinion, there's only 3 possibilities. Okay? Number 1, Noah really did put the mismatched shoes on his own feet, and he walked down the highway, and he really was the victim of a hit and run. Okay? That's scenario number 1. That this really was a hit and run accident, and that Noah put those mismatched shoes on his own body and walked down there and got hit. Okay? That's the first possibility. Okay? Number 2 is that he actually died somewhere else and the body was dumped and staged to look like a hit and run. And this would have been done possibly by one of the kids or someone else at the party, or maybe somebody the kids called. Who knows? But this is scenario 2. If it was staged by them, maybe they did a Google search to see examples of pictures of what a hit and run crime scene is supposed to look like. I mean, guys, we all know kids these days, that's all they do. They're on their phone 24/7. And if they have a question, they don't ask other people. Like, you know the days of going to your dad or your uncle or your boss at work or just a friend and asking them a question? You know, that used to be very, very, very common, but not anymore. These kids go straight to Google and they ask every question in the book. Okay? And it makes you wonder, because Noah's body had all the signs of the pictures that I just showed you guys, where one shoe fell off the body. Okay? Scenario number 3 is it possible that someone with a law enforcement background, someone who, just like I showed you guys with the lawyer websites, they're very familiar with hit and runs, okay? So, which means that law enforcement would be very familiar with hit and runs, because they're the ones who arrive to the scene and work the scene and take the pictures before, you know, the families file the lawsuits or whatever they do to the lawyers. So either law enforcement or someone who understands what crime scenes of hit and runs look like, which that would be lawyers, you know, like the medical first responders, maybe the firefighters, or if it's not somebody who was actually like held one of those positions, maybe it's somebody who's dating someone like that, or married to someone like that, or maybe their dad works in that field, or their mom works in that field, or they have an aunt or an uncle, or this could be somebody that's in college studying the law. That's scenario 3, is someone with some type of law enforcement background could have had something to do with staging the body. They knew exactly how to stage it because they know what hit and runs look like. Okay, this would be someone who is very familiar with how the crime scenes of hit and run victims look like. Okay, so in my opinion, those are your 3 scenarios. Okay, but then we're left with another question. If any of these are true, okay, except the first one. The first one is Noah put the shoe on his body on his own. So the questions would be for scenario 2 and 3, how did Caden's shoe get on Noah's body? If he was the victim of a hit and run and the shoe fell off, how would Caden's shoe get back on Noah's body? Okay, if someone staged the crime scene, how did Caden's shoe get on Noah's body? Either way, someone put the shoe on Noah's body, whether it was Noah himself or whether it was someone else afterwards. Okay, that's the questions that we have, and that's the scenarios that we have. And then when you start digging into the other pictures of what the crime scene is supposed to look like, there's always debris, okay, from the vehicles. I think it's impossible for there not to be debris, guys. Like we see the shoes, and the clothing from the victim, but you see this little panel or piece of a vehicle laying there, and then you see some other debris that could be from a car, and then you see the median here, looks like it was hit. You can see damage, or that a vehicle scraped it or something. There's always debris left over. I think it would be impossible for there not to be, unless that's the only possibility is if it's a truck with a grill guard. That would be the only possibility for debris not to be left over. But that grill guard should have debris on it. And then Noah should have had markings on his body that should have matched up to a grill guard. And police haven't said that, so I think that can be ruled out. I don't think that happened. Here's another hit and run, and you see all the debris. You see how the car is screwed up from hitting a victim. I mean, it's just what happens during hit and runs, guys. Here's another one. You got stuff everywhere, all over the road, scattered, tiny little pieces and bits, and then you got bigger chunks of a car. Here's another one. This was not found at the crime scene of where Noah's body was. Okay, so how's that possible? Like, what's wrong with Noah's crime scene? What's different about it? And what's different about it is you didn't have this, and the scene was just a little too squeaky clean. And I've said this before, because I think the scene was staged. I think they got some things right, as I showed up here. They got some things right, A hit and run would knock a shoe off, but they messed up the other areas. Because how's it possible for a hit and run to be able to have so much force to knock someone's shoe off and not leave any debris? How's that possible, guys? And then second of all, why was Caden's shoe on the body? It makes absolutely no sense at all. So what do you guys think? After looking at the pictures of how a hit and run crime scene is supposed to look, does Noah's body seem like it was staged? Or does everything appear to be as it should? Do y'all think that it was just a hit and run? Does all of the evidence that was at the crime scene that we've seen, that's been released, does it look like it was just a hit and run? Or does something seem off? And does the lack of debris at the crime scene suggest that it had to have been staged? Is that the smoking gun, that there's no debris? I think it is. I think it's impossible for there not to be. Are we really supposed to believe that someone was able to remove every piece, every speck, every chunk of debris from the crime scene on the highway in the dark? Wouldn't there be debris in the grass also? How would it be possible to remove all of that in the dark? And I'm telling you guys, I don't think that it is. If he was hit, okay, and someone cleaned up, let's say he was hit, and he was hit by someone that one of these kids or someone wanted to protect and wanted to cover up. I think you probably could take flashlights out there to that highway and get all the debris off the highway, okay? That might be possible. But don't you think that since he was found on the side of the road, so close to the side, near the grass and everything, don't you think that when he was hit, that there should have been some type of debris that flew off into the grass? How are you going to take a flashlight and look into the grass and find every piece, every speck, every chunk, and get it out of the grass? I don't think that's possible. You're not going to be able to see in the grass, guys. I think this is a smoking gun that they didn't find, like, even one piece of plastic one piece of glass or something in, on the road or in the grass on the side of the road, because it's very, very, very clear that debris is present in hit and runs. How are you going to clean all this up, guys? When chunks of this flies off to the side in the grass, I mean, I don't think you can. And I think that people have probably been to that crime scene 1,000 times looking for any type of evidence. But we're supposed to believe that his tooth was left over, but no evidence of being hit by a vehicle at all. I'm not buying it. And I'd like to get you guys to comment with some thoughts, okay? Because I think this had to be staged. No way for it not to be. So, y'all have a great day. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. And I'll talk to you guys next year.